Podcast. As always, I'm your host from Liberty, and with me is...
Muhammad Yusuf.
And today we got a packed podcast, folks. We got tons of stuff to talk about. Nothing? Oh, it's gonna be one of those. I was like, because I wanted to cheer for Waz up because he's been having a rough day so far. So I thought, hey, let's bring back the packed podcast and just silence. So we got PlayStation Plus games for September and a price increase. We've got Battleborn Earnest trailer. We got No Man's Sky refunds for Amazon, Sony, and Steam, regardless of playtime. We've got new Titans for Titanfall, and we got Gears 4 Horde mode. Before we get into that, let's talk about what we played this week. So I played some more Deus Ex.
Okay,
and since we want to have this a big happy podcast, I will talk about the terrible thing that happened to me a couple days ago with Deus Ex. So I'm playing Deus Ex, having a lot of fun. You know, save scumming my way through the game because I want to get that sweet ghost playthrough. You know, like I want to get the stealth. I want to do that, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. Regardless of if it's a lot of restarts, I'm having a lot of fun. So I'm doing that, going through the game, having a blast, and all of a sudden I get to this part in the game where I have to walk through a subway, and it's more of like a loading screen, right? You just could get to this point, hit a button, and then you walk through the subway, right?
Okay.
And then I keep getting errors, like PlayStation error, and the application just stops. I'm like, that's weird. So then I try it again, same thing. So I load an earlier save that I made in this section, and I get the same thing. I try an earlier save, still get the same thing. And then I'm like kerfuffled because I'm like I have to go through the subway to beat the game. Like I can't beat the game if this loading error keeps happening. And then I finally realized that I think what happened is that when I made my save in this area, my PlayStation 4 was full. So it kind of fucked up all the saves I made at a certain point and corrupted 3 of my save files.
What?
And I'm like, oh. And then I think, okay, if all these save files are all corrupted, then will this save file work? And then I'm like, the only save file that works is the one that I saved about halfway through my progress.
No.
Yeah. So that made me fucking mad because I'm like, come on, like all of my work, the bank heist, the fucking sick ass MLG Icarus Dash moment I had, that's all gone.
Check your cloud, because
no, like it's the file itself. Because what I did is that I deleted the application, I deleted all that, and I reinstalled it onto my PS4. I did the cloud save, like I dropped all my saves on the cloud and I redid it, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is that basically how it is that it's my last 3 saves that are all close to this point where I think the game just sort of fucked up because of me having a full, like, no save data, no available space to save because I didn't know, right? And this was my fault. Part of this was my fault. I should have been making like because I usually do the line, right? I'll be like, all right, I'll save here, I'll put another save here, I'll pull another save here, and just have back to back to back to back to back.
Yeah.
In a good line, and I should have done that. Like I should have, because what happened, I was getting tired of doing that, so I was just like, I'll have 2 save files that are relatively close to each other, right?
Yeah.
And that was my mistake. I should have had them more spread out so that I could have, worst case scenario, I could have lost like maybe like an hour or something like that, which isn't that bad. But the fact is, I lost more like 6 or 7 hours, so I was like, oh. But that being said, I was like, I'm like, man, that sucks. I'm gonna take a break from Deus Ex because I was very salty, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a break from Deus Ex, and then I'll just come back and I'll beat it. And because now that I know the level layout, I don't think it's gonna be that hard to sneak my way through. It just sucks because I did like a really freaking long ass bank heist on my own, and that's completely like nullified. The only other thing I did with Deus Ex is that I played the Breach mode finally. The Breach mode is okay. Like it's like a little challenge mode or whatnot. It's kind of got this really stupid like free to play mechanic in which when you basically it's like challenge courses, right? You have a small map, get through the level, kill the enemies, hack these points and escape, right?
Yeah.
So there's small little challenge points. But basically, how it works is that when it's almost like a level, like a timeline, like a level line, where it's like this level, then you unlock the next level, and then you go on and on and on. And when you unlock certain levels, you'll unlock a pack. And basically, when you unlock this pack, you open it up almost like Hearthstone, and it gives you like modifiers for the mission that will give you more experience points. Free praxis kits, stuff like that, because there's a whole different setup of praxis kits in this challenge mode in particular.
Okay.
I mean, I played it for about 2 hours because I couldn't play the base game because save files. And I was just like, I want to play Deus Ex. I can't play the single player. Fuck it, I'll play this Breach mode. I was going to completely ignore. But it's an okay mode. Like I think there's a good amount of challenge and fun to be had. But I still think the main game, like the single player, is where it's at. Like it's more fun for me anyway. And then I jumped on Overwatch Season 2 competitive. So I did play a bunch of that.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it so far. I think the idea of getting competitive points at 10 than 1 is more rewarding. I like the fact that you get points in draws now, so it doesn't feel like a complete waste of time.
Yeah.
I like the new map. I think the new map's pretty cool. I immediately saw that Reinhardt skin. And I was like, I will be having that Reinhardt skin because I had 1,000 gold stocked. So.
You don't even play Reinhardt.
Yeah, I play Reinhardt. I'm actually playing more Reinhardt now. Because I feel like there's certain maps where like Reinhardt is really good, and then there's certain maps where I'm better as D.Va. So I switch and swap. Like honestly, out of my two choices for tanks, it's either Reinhardt or D.Va. So, but I play more D.Va because I feel like I'm a little bit better with D.Va. I'm actually getting pretty close to being able to get a gold weapon as far as competitive points. So I think I'm gonna be, because I looked at the list. Okay, what's the character I play the most of? And it's Mercy. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get a gold staff.
Okay.
And actually, it's not just a gold staff. You get the gold staff and you get the gold pistol.
Yeah. Do you have the red Mercy skin?
Oh, you mean the Summer Games one?
No, the Imp one.
The Imp one. You mean the Devil one?
Yeah.
I don't have that one. I have the other one, the Imp one.
Oh, okay.
Because I know the gold and the Devil red would look really, really badass.
Yeah.
But I think the Summer Games one, which is red and white and it's Sweden based.
Yeah.
I think also looks pretty good with the gold because I kind of.
Isn't it Switzerland, not Sweden?
That's what I said, Switzerland. Come on, Fawaz. You're having a problem with your mic over?
Oh.
But anyway, that's what I ended up playing. What about you, Fawaz?
Okay, so I finally platinumed The Witcher 3. So.
Nice.
Yeah, it's funny. I've actually been playing the game a lot more after I platinumed it. I know, right? It's funny how that works out. So the final trophy I had to get was an absolute nightmare. I had to it's a trophy for making an enemy suffer from bleeding, poison, and fire.
Yeah.
Simultaneously.
Mm-hmm.
It was so bad. It took me so long to get it. It got to the point where I was actually just going to give up. But this one dude because there's a website for like with like trophy guides and stuff like that. There was this one dude that was asking, trying to figure out what I'm doing wrong, and the guy was like, you're almost there, come on. And then he kept giving me different things to try, so I got that. So anyway, now I'm trying to work on enjoying the DLCs, because like I said, I
Yeah.
rushed through them, and it really made me sad that I rushed through them. So I'm trying to actually play them, enjoy them, all that good
Yeah.
stuff. One minor issue is that I'm broke. Um,
In the game or
yeah, well, in real life too, but yeah, in the game.
because I'm like, there's two ways this is gonna go, and I'm confused.
Yeah, yeah. In the game, I don't have as much gold as I'd like because there's a bunch
Mm.
of stuff I'm trying to do. There's this one dude, he sells like runes, and you can what's this thing called? You can get runes off him.
Mm.
However, you have to invest in him, and it's a lot of gold. And then there's also a house that you get that you can upgrade, and then once again, it's a lot of gold. So
Yeah.
so yeah, it's tough, but it's fun. I'm also trying out the new Skellige deck. It's kind of It's kind of bad. Okay, okay. I don't think the deck is bad. I think the deck I used to play is just overpowered.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, yeah. Like playing the Skellige deck, I'm like, wow, is this what it feels like to be you guys? It's like because my friend he plays the monster deck and he's really happy with it, and I'm
Mm.
like, monsters. Just FYI, the Northern Realm, if you ever get The Witcher and you ever plan on playing Gwent, the Northern Realms Gwent deck is absolutely overpowered.
Mm.
Northern Realms and Nilfgaard because they're the two classes with the most spies, and spies are the only way you can draw cards in that game.
Yeah.
And I'm yet to find any card game where card draw is not important. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, but I'm messing around with the Skellige deck. I'm slowly learning how to play it, and that's kind of fun. Other than that, I also tried out this one game. It was the free game, a couple, maybe not last month, maybe the month before. Fury. So it's
Oh,
spelled
okay.
with an I. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
trying it out, and it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of weird. It's
Oh, it's a very weird game.
sorry.
It's a very weird game. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a cross between Hotline Miami and Shadow of the Colossus because it's like a straight up boss rush game. There's a little bit of what's this thing called? What's that word I'm
Twitch
looking for?
shooting.
Exposition. There's a little bit of exposition in between boss battles. You're just
Yeah.
walking through areas with these crazy camera angles and but like you don't do anything else. You're just walking through while your friend with the rabbit head
Yeah.
is giving you some information about the world and the bosses that you're fighting. But like other than that, you're just fighting bosses.
Yeah.
So far the game is hard. It's actually very hard. I'm stuck on the third boss, and I started playing it last week Friday.
Mm.
No, to be fair, I haven't really played it the past couple of days because I've just been playing The Witcher. But the game is hard, man. The second
Yeah.
boss, I spent like the whole night fighting the second boss. The first boss was easy; it's like a tutorial boss.
Yeah.
But yeah, Fury, and The
Yeah,
Witcher.
it's a kind of cool game because it's like yeah, it's basically just boss battle then slow ass walk to next boss battle.
Yeah,
And it's kind of funny because I recognize the designs right away, and I know it's from the guy who made the designs for Afro Samurai.
yeah, I
And
thought so.
and
I thought
you can
so.
tell well like you can tell because in Afro Samurai there's a character who's runs around with a giant teddy bear head, and he just replaced the teddy bear with a freaking bunny. So he's clearly got a thing for that. But yeah, cool stuff, cool stuff. So you want to get into some news?
Yeah, let's get into some news. Start off with some really good news.
Mm-hmm.
So Sony just announced a price hike on PlayStation Plus in the
Yep.
Americas. It goes up by $10 in the US and by
Mm-hmm.
$20 for the like annual stuff in Canada. So shout
Oh,
outs to Sony.
the annual stuff.
Um,
Okay. Do they have a specific of like what the monthly is?
I don't know. They have the monthly, but I don't have it off the top of my head.
'Cause that's what I'm more curious because I pay monthly.
You
So
pay monthly?
yeah. What? Why is that such a crime?
Because you lose money paying monthly, right?
Yeah, but the best part is that I don't have to freaking go to a store. I just have it auto do it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Tanner. Oh my God. Please, please, Tanner. Just buy the annual thing.
No. It's because I don't want to. I don't want to pay the annual one. I really don't.
But you've paid for 12 months in a row.
Yeah. No, it's not that. That's not the issue. The issue is that I like the fact that it's like, hey, do you want just this to be auto charged to your Visa so that you don't have to freaking like worry about it? And I'm like, yes, I would just like that. So that's one less thing I don't have to worry about it. I do realize that yes, I'm probably not saving money with this option, but it's because
not probably.
Probably
Definitely.
not. Definitely, absolutely. But I'm a lazy fuck, so I don't really care that much.
But it's not just that. There's the you can do the auto renewal for the annual too.
But what difference does that really make?
Probably a difference of like $10. How much do you pay monthly?
Well, that's the thing. I haven't checked.
Okay, one sec, Tanner.
All right, live podcast. Here we go. I knew this podcast was gonna be a shit show. Oh God. Oh shit. I should be holding the blank air. The blank air. Oh man. But yeah. So while Fawaz is going to figure out how much money I'm losing every year, I'm gonna talk about the games that are coming out for PlayStation Plus this month. So we've got Lords of the Fallen. Pretty cool game. Very Dark Souls-y. I'm actually kind of excited to get my hands on it because I've heard pretty good things about it. And Journey. So for anyone who hasn't played Journey, download this game now because Journey's freaking awesome. It's also it's available for both the PS4 and the PS3, which I think is pretty nice. Honestly, I already have Journey on the PS3, so I might actually just download it for the PS4. So that's something I can just play on my PS4 if I want to. What other games did they announce? Prince of Persia, The Forgotten Sands. Don't know much about that game. I heard it's alright. I still think the first Prince of Persia is the best Prince of Persia in the entire series, personally. And Badlands is kind of like a cool... Badlands is kind of like a little cool artsy game. It's weird. It's basically like an artsy Flappy Bird, but with more mechanics than just Flappy Bird. And it looks kind of cool as well. But like honestly, I think this month was really like good as far as the games go. Like and the thing about it is that yeah, the price increase sucks. Absolutely, it sucks royally. But if there is if we're going to get better games, if we're going to get months like this or even better months like this, then I'm fine with it. But if we do get months from this point on that are like shitty months where it's just indie games, there's no like big games like Lords of the Fallen or something like that, then I'm going to be bummed out. I'm going to be bummed out for sure.
I'm back.
Okay. You're back. Because I was like, I didn't know how long I had to fill up the silence.
Yeah, I'd been back for a while, but I was like, yo, let me just let him. He's
doing his
going
thing.
ham right now. So let me just.
All right. So how much money am I losing for Waz?
Okay, so you're losing about $60 a year.
Okay. I can
Probably even more. Okay. So it used to cost $50. It cost $10 a month and $50 for the year. So you are losing $70 every year, Tada.
Okay.
Tada's like, hey, cash buddy, man, trust fund. I don't know. It's like $70. Is that all? Is that all, Jack? I'm sorry.
Okay, well maybe I might look into so because that's the thing. I will admit, and this is me being stupid, I didn't realize I could do annual renewals.
No, with the amount of money you paid for that full 12 months, you could have paid for 2 years of PlayStation Plus. I still had $20 left over to buy some DLC for Deus Ex.
Oh yeah, all that sweet Deus Ex deals. Oh, fucking god.
Oh
Okay,
man.
all right, fine. You've convinced me. I'll switch to an annual renewal. I have to figure out how the fuck to do that.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. You're gonna have to call them up for that one.
yeah.
But in more positive news, well for you anyway, the monthly doesn't go up. It's still just $10 a month.
Okay.
The annual goes up to 70, so you're still losing money. You
Okay.
still lose $50 a year, even if you stayed monthly now. But yeah, I completely agree with what you said.
Mhm.
This month isn't bad. I mean, like Journey's a critically acclaimed game, but games like that I just have no interest in. The like emotional experiences and
Yeah.
blah 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 blah. Yeah, I just don't
Yeah. Well,
care.
that's what I mean. Is that you got Lords of the Fallen for people that want that more heavy experience, but if you want a shorter, more emotional experience, you've got Journey and whatnot. So I'm
Yeah.
glad that there's at least a variety in this month.
Yeah, funny story about Lords of the Fallen though.
Mm.
So there's this dude whose videos I watch. I think Vat Vidya. I don't know if you know him.
Oh, Vatty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Vatty.
so
He's a
yeah,
cool
he
dude.
does a lot. He does a bunch of like Dark Souls videos and stuff. So every now and then he covers different Souls-like games. Like there was this one game he covered. It was and yeah, whenever he covers them, he puts the name of the game and then he puts a little description on the side. Like there was this one game that was like an isometric Dark Souls. So he
Mm.
puts isometric Souls.
Yeah.
Then he covers Salt and Sanctuary, and then the tag is 2D Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
When he covered Lords of the Fallen, do you know what he called it?
What did he call it?
Clunky Dark Souls.
Yeah.
So yeah, that kind of kills a little bit of my enthusiasm for the game. I'm probably gonna check out Journey. No, I'm probably not. Who am I kidding?
I know you, Fawaz. You're not gonna check out Journey. Is
No,
there honestly? I'm curious. Has there been a that type of game that you've played and enjoyed a lot?
well, I started playing Limbo and then I stopped.
Oh, you didn't even beat Limbo.
No,
Wow.
I didn't get past the first like 2 minutes of Limbo. Um,
Wow.
what are the other games that are like that?
Just dead silence. Can't think of anything.
Yeah. So I
Uh.
can't think of any that I've played and I've enjoyed. But to be fair, I haven't given a lot of them a chance. So yeah, maybe I'll give Journey a chance. Probably not. But yeah, maybe I'll give Journey a chance. Who knows? Like I might like it. I didn't think I'd like Hotline Miami.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when Hotline Miami was free, I was like, okay,
Whatevs.
cool. But then I needed stuff to play on my Vita. Speaking of which, how are you enjoying the Vita? Doesn't sound like you're enjoying it very much.
No, I'm enjoying it. I played some more Dragon's Crown on my trip to Toronto, which was pretty fun. Honestly, I've been doing that. I also started a second playthrough of Persona 4 while I wait for Persona 5, so that's fun.
Oh, you finished it already?
What do you mean?
Persona 4.
Oh yeah, I finished that a while ago.
Wait, what?
Well,
I only gave you the
no,
Vita.
oh, sorry. I mean, okay, I mean, sorry. I mean, I'm starting a fresh playthrough
Oh,
of
okay.
Persona 4 Golden. I've beaten Persona 4. I've never played Golden, but basically Golden's just a super version of it. So
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
So, but honestly, yeah, but no, it's very clear after playing like a couple hours of Golden. It's like if you have a Vita and you haven't played Persona 4, get this version of the game because it's so much. It's got so much more stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm enjoying my Vita. It's just
Your
I
Vita?
sorry.
Your Vita?
Oh, I mean, Fawaz's Vita.
I'm
That
like,
was a
whoa
little,
there,
little
Tyler.
slip of the tongue.
Getting a little too comfortable.
Oh god. But yeah, that was PlayStation Plus. Yeah, that's pretty much. I think as long as we can, I just really think that as long as we can get a good list of games every month consistently, then I don't mind this price increase.
Yeah, same here, same here. I mean, here's the thing, is
Mm.
that the PlayStation Plus original price was a steal on the PS3. Like, plain and
Yeah.
simple. It was an absolute steal. The kinds of games that we used to get, It was insane. Like, but with the PS4, as we've said frequently on this podcast, the games have been kind of weak sauce.
Yeah.
But they picked it up a little bit. Like, here's the thing: if I pay the $70, I'm probably just going to renew before this thing happens, so I only have to pay the 50, right?
Yeah,
But
exactly.
see, I paid the $70. NBA 2K16 alone covers that. 2K16 is about $70 right now.
Yeah, yeah.
So like 2K16 alone covers that. So even if in the next 12 months I only get one game, one full-on AAA game that I like, that alone covers it. And here's the thing: when I first saw the price hike, I was upset because I was like, that you guys have been giving us shit for like the past year, and now you want to increase prices. Were it not for the fact that I play Overwatch so frequently, I wouldn't have renewed. Straight up, like.
Yeah, no, I know. And I know a lot of people who are in that boat where it's like the only reason I'm still holding it is for Overwatch and also Titanfall 2 when that comes out.
Yeah, like last year, I wouldn't have renewed last year if it wasn't for the fact that I forgot to switch off automatic renewal. I would not have renewed last year at all because I was like, I don't play any of these PlayStation Plus games and I don't play anything online.
Right.
Like I mostly played Helldivers by myself, and every other game I played, I mean, sure, Bloodborne has multiplayer, but I'm not paying $50 a year to play Bloodborne multiplayer.
Yeah.
Plus, I'm not even sure if you need PlayStation Plus for Bloodborne's multiplayer.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Yeah, but honestly, if you don't care for summoning, then there's no reason.
Yeah, I mean Witcher 3, all the games I played, Fallout 4, like I didn't need multiplayer last year, but then unfortunately I forgot to switch off automatic renewal. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm stuck. But yeah, this year, unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, Overwatch came out and I turns out I actually really enjoy that game.
That game's fantastic.
So because when they announced it, I was like, this is bullshit. I'm not renewing, and I was like, who am I kidding? I'm going to renew.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, I'm completely with you. If they keep, if they have more months like this, I mean, sure, I'm probably not going to download Lords of the Fallen or Journey, but it is a step in the right direction, like I frequently say. So more months like this, then it'll definitely be worth it, in the long run. So yeah, keep it up, Sony.
Yeah, keep it up. Hopefully this will be for the better and not for the worse.
Hopefully.
So next on our list, this little game that no one really talks about anymore. Battleborn! Hey, a new character, Ernest trailer got announced. He's like a cool soldier bird, throws grenades, very explosive based. He kind of reminds me a bit of the demolition guy from Team Fortress 2 in some ways.
Yeah. You know what's funny about this trailer?
What?
The whole time I'm watching it, I'm trying to figure out which Overwatch character he's like, because I'm pretty much that's Battleborn at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that game that your parents buy for you when you ask for Overwatch, but then they're like, oh, but it looks so similar.
It's like, no, the guy at the store told me you wanted Battleborn.
It's like they didn't have Overwatch, but they said this game is just like it. And you're like, oh, wow, thanks, Bob. Thanks a lot. But I'm sorry. I'm being an asshole. To be fair, he looks pretty cool. His or her, I can't really tell.
I'm pretty sure it's a him.
Yeah, Ernest, yeah, that's a him.
Yeah.
His kit looks interesting. He's got like the little grenade that buffs teammates, and I'm gonna assume that you can change what the buff is based on his helix tree.
Yeah, probably.
His grenade launchers. I did no mention of what the alternate fire is, but I mean it's a grenade launcher. Yeah. I'm pretty sure. I'm not gonna. It's pretty straightforward. His ultimate looks kind of weak, but most of the ultimates in this game left a lot to be desired. So no big surprises there. Overall, it's pretty cool. Well, the funniest thing about this trailer, though, is the comment section. So the first comment is in before the quote unquote people still play this game comments. Mark my words. Comment right below that. People still play Battleborn. Oh, Battleborn, you poor thing.
Yeah. It's like the most. Yeah, it really is the most inconvenient timing. Like, I really think that this game released at the worst possible time. Like, you just don't go up against Blizzard, for God's sakes.
I think I think it was the perfect storm or
Oh,
imperfect storm if you're
yeah,
2K. It was a mix of releasing at the worst possible time, horrible marketing on there. Here's the thing.
yeah,
Here's the thing. And I had this conversation with Jason.
yeah.
Um I feel like with or without Overwatch, Battleborn was not going to sell well. This game was marketed extraordinarily poorly.
Oh, yeah.
Like right out the gate, most people didn't know what this. Most people did not know about this game. The
Hmm.
few that did didn't know what it was, and the few that and then fewer still cared, and then of those few that then now cared, they didn't market the game well enough to keep us caring, right?
Yeah,
So it
exactly.
was it was just it was just bad,
Yeah.
but on top of all of this, I feel like the game itself didn't
Mm.
do. I feel like the game just didn't look. It just didn't attract people.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people just looked at Overwatch characters and they were drawn to them, because of the art style and all that stuff and the gameplay. But then because here's the thing,
Mm.
was like when Overwatch's open beta went down for those 2 weeks, a lot of Overwatch streamers played Battleborn.
Yeah.
Seagull, who is currently the biggest Overwatch streamer, he played Battleborn for like 2 days and then he didn't play it again after that.
Yeah.
So this isn't a situation where like people just didn't give the game a chance. A lot of people gave the game a chance, but
Yeah.
then the people that did, I mean, look at me. I played the
Yeah.
closed alpha and I enjoyed it. I don't think I enjoyed it enough to buy it. And then you're not adding the fact that I'm like, okay, cool, no one's really playing this game, and I don't like. I mean, it's a multiplayer game. I don't like playing
Yeah.
multiplayer games where I'm.
That I think that's the one thing that always sold me on Overwatch more than Battleborn, because I was thinking like eventually this community is gonna die down, whereas I know the Overwatch community is not gonna die down,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
I'm just like I know that, and that's part of the reason why I was like, okay, I really want to play Overwatch instead, and I don't know, it's just a multiple different things, but I think the trailer was still pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a
But
cool trailer. I'm
yeah,
curious to see if this game is gonna go free to play like Evolve, which still hasn't come to consoles, by the way.
right.
2K.
They gotta make it work on the PC first and see how that goes. Which I
Well,
don't.
we'll see if I still care by the time it consoles. By the time it comes to
But
console.
speaking of really shitty marketing, so let's talk about No Man's Sky, which we haven't talked about in the last couple podcasts. So No Man's Sky, there's an article that came out which basically for No Man's Sky purchases on Amazon, Sony, and Steam, you will be able to get a full refund regardless of your playtime. Um, so honestly, like as far as like I totally get how this why they're doing this because of the old debacle. And I've been flipping between two different sides on No Man's Sky and this story. Like on one hand, I think the people who bought this game, there were a ton of people who they didn't understand, what they were getting into, right? And I feel like that is not completely on the fault of Sony. I think that's just completely on some people just going like, "Oh yeah, that game looks cool," and then not doing any research, not like looking into how it's actually going to play, not looking at like gameplay breakdowns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then it's just they get in and they're like, "This isn't what I want. This isn't what I wanted," and I feel like that's part of the issue. But I think that the other part of the issue was definitely the marketing of this game. I think the marketing of this game is what killed it, because people forget that this is an indie. This was an indie game. Like I know a lot of people who say that this is like a full budget like AAA game. It's a indie game with a AAA budget, like budget in marketing.
Yeah.
And that is what killed it, because everyone knew about it, everyone was talking about it, and even when I know we talked about No Man's Sky, before, like obviously on other podcasts, and you and me, we were still very skeptical from day one about like how this game was going to work, and whether or not it would be that interesting,
Yeah.
and other people, no one was talking about that, before the game. All people were doing before the game was coming out was just hyping the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And I get it's an indie game, and considering the fact that like other stories about how like the studio that made the game, I forget the studio that made No Man's Sky, but their freaking quarters were flooded like a couple years ago, and they had to like move all their shit and whatnot. The fact that this game even came out is a friggin' miracle when you go back on the history of some of the shit that happened during development.
Yeah.
You know, and there are positives with this game, like, and obviously because I'll be getting to the whole mob mentality of this, because like the fact is that the game is still getting huge updates and it's getting extra features down the road. There's going to be base building down the road and whatnot.
Oh. Really?
And there are cool things that are going to be added for people that, you know, they obviously wanted more stuff to do, right? Mm-hmm. And I understand why people are mad. Where it's like, oh, this, you know, this game sucks, and I want all my money back. And I agree as far as like I agree that there were some features in this game that they did not properly handle. They did not properly explain how multiplayer was going to work in No Man's Sky, and that I think is a obviously blunder on their part. And I think if they had been more accurate on how the multiplayer was going to work, and that ties into the marketing, because the marketing of this game was supposed to be so vague and mysterious, right? Throughout most of the marketing campaign, it was like, yeah, vague and mysterious. This game is intriguing. But then the problem with that is then you're not properly explaining what your game is, and then people jump on board expecting something completely different than what you were actually implying. Honestly, I'm fine with the full refunds. I think that there should, the idea of regardless of playtime, I think there should be more criteria to that. I think it should be like honestly, I think if you play this game for more than like something a little bit higher, maybe something like 20, 30 hours or something like that, I feel that that's a little bit exploitive. It's like, sweet, I got 30 hours out of this game, time to get my money back. You know, like I feel like it's a little too exploitable in that regard. So I think that it's like, I I feel like there should be a cap. You know.
I think so here's the thing, and like there's been conflicting reports the whole way through, but it's not regardless of playtime. It's on a case by case basis, pretty much. You can't just show up with 40 hours played and expect a full refund.
Okay.
Yeah, but what was surprising is that some of these places are offering refunds at all, because the PlayStation Store does not do refunds. So the fact that they're offering any refunds it reflects very poorly on the reception of No Man's Sky. And yeah, in regards to the reception of No Man's Sky, I feel like it's a mix, because a lot of the stuff people are complaining about are things that I was like, oh, I thought this was, because from day one I was never interested in No Man's Sky because of a lot of the stuff that people are complaining about now.
Yeah.
That, you know, you're just not doing anything. You're not working towards anything. The one thing that you're working towards ends up being anticlimactic as shit. Having a billion planets to explore doesn't mean shit when they all look similar, and there's like it's so funny because like Mass Effect 1 was the game, like if it wasn't for Mass Effect 1, I probably would have been a lot more excited for No Man's Sky.
Yeah.
Because when they were marketing the first Mass Effect, they were like, oh yeah, there's all these planets you can explore and this, that. And I was like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. You know, back when I was naive and a lot less cynical. But I played the game and like 90% of the planets were bland and boring. So when No Man's Sky comes out and they're like, oh yeah, there's over 1 billion different planets, I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, like there's only like some people also, like, I remember reading critiques and people saying that like if this game actually had less planets, but there were some like more planets were more like intricate and had more interesting mechanics to them, then the game would actually be probably better. Like, yeah. I'm always like, I think that the best describe it is that it's like it's a million miles wide but 1 feet deep.
But yeah, like so part of that was on the gamers, because gamers just didn't pay attention. But on the flip side, I feel like these dudes did lie during their marketing. They pulled a Peter Molyneux with this game because, for example, they were like that. Oh, you know, players can run into each other. It's rare, but it can happen. But there's a video of 2 players on the exact same planet in the exact same spot that could not see each other. You know. There's like I watched like the angry review, and he goes through a laundry list of stuff. Like he plays the quotes of the person saying it, and then like he talks about how this stuff didn't make it into the final game. So there is that. There were a lot of lies. Like straight up, there were a lot of lies. There was actually a Reddit thread called No Man's Lies, I think.
Hmm.
That pretty much went over like a bunch of the things that they lied about that didn't make it into the game. So with that said, I feel like yes, the developers deserve a decent amount of the criticism that they're currently getting. Now, as is the case with
Yeah.
gamers
No.
all the time, people just there's no middle ground. People
There,
just go.
yeah, and that's what's pissing me off a little bit about this because I know that there's a bunch of people that are getting, oh yeah, time to shit on No Man's Sky. I'm gonna release my sick video that's shitting on No Man's Sky. Have you actually played No Man's Sky? No, but I know it's really shitty because all these other people are talking about it, so I'm gonna make my shitty video. You know what I mean? And that just it bothers the fuck out of me when shit like that happens, and that pisses me off, and that's why I'm kind of like I don't want to like fully throw the guys who made No Man's Sky under the bus. But yes, I know that there is criticism to be had. I just get this is the type of scenario that bugs me the most when the mob mentality comes in full force. And I don't know, it's a shitty situation because it's a shitty situation for everyone, really.
Yeah, no one's winning here.
Yeah,
No one's winning. The developers definitely. I mean, the game sold pretty well in its first week. I don't know. It's
yeah,
definitely not going to have legs. It had like a 90% player drop off on PC.
yeah.
90%.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah, so it's definitely not going to have legs. But yeah, the developers aren't winning. The gamers definitely aren't winning. No one's
No,
happy.
no
Like
one's.
no one is happy
I
right
think the
now.
only people that are happy are the fact that it's like I feel like the game that I got isn't what I bought, and I want my refund. Here's your refund. So in that regards, it's somewhat good news. In which, if you felt that when you got the game that this is not what you expected, you can get a refund. Because I know there's plenty of other games that I've bought where I thought, oh, this is not what I wanted. This is kind of shitty. I didn't get no freaking refund for my copy of Fable 2, so.
I didn't get a refund for Street Fighter 5.
Oh
So I know you're preaching to the choir, right? Yeah.
man, but you know what? All that being said, I think it's fine. I just hope that they like it's case. I think it's good to know that it is case by case because
Yeah.
this could be extremely exploitable.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
If it wasn't that.
No doubt,
No
no
doubt.
doubt. So yeah. In more positive news, Respawn Entertainment released a Meet the Titans trailer. That
Yeah.
finally, it's really funny that this trailer came out when it did because I think a few days before this trailer came out, I was like, holy shit, this game is launching next month and we still don't know who the other three Titans are. Well, now we
Now
do.
we know.
They are Legion. I'm just gonna name all six because I don't feel like. But yeah, so it's Legion, Ronin, Ion, Scorch, um, North Star, and Tone. I'm gonna go through. So the trailer just like it doesn't really go in depth with them, but I'll go in depth with their kits and yeah. Do you want me to cover the two that were in the technical test too, or should I just only focus
Let's
on?
just cover the new ones because I think most
Okay,
people can know about the
yeah.
other ones.
So Legion's thing, like every Titan has like a gimmick, right?
Yeah.
Like Scorch's thing was fire, and well, obviously with a name like Scorch, right?
Right. Yeah.
But like Legion, oh my God, sorry, I'm just
You okay there, buddy?
yeah, I'm just trying to because there's a page with all the Titans and all the names of their abilities that I'm just trying to find because I want to actually say what the exact names are and because I know what they do off the top of my head, but I want to actually go in detail. So there we go, Explorer Legion. So yeah, Legion's kit, his ordinance is power shot, so he can switch between close range and long range with his weapon, right? He has a close range mode and a long range mode. Then his power shot, I don't really, I'm not entirely sure what it does. It doesn't really, because like I said, the trailer themselves don't go in detail, and then the website doesn't go in detail either. So we have to like piece these things together. But overall, he seems like a heavy Titan. He similar to, because here's the thing with the new Titans, right? Is that a lot of them, they each Titan, because there were three Titans in the last game, and I feel like the six Titans in this game are all built from the core of those three, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So,
No,
so
no, totally. Yeah.
yeah, so this guy and Scorch feel like the spiritual successors to the Ogre kids, because he seems
Mm.
like a slow, heavily armored Titan with an his shield, because every Titan has like a defensive ability. His shield is like a gun shield, so it pretty much just like puts a little shield around his gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't get any more doesn't get any more literal than this guy.
Yeah.
So and then his core ability is the smart core, where his minigun automatically locks onto anything in range. So this guy is going to piss off a lot of people online. That much I know.
Yeah.
So the other one that was revealed is Tone. Tone is like a spiritual successor to the Atlas.
Yeah.
His kit is. Can you hear that?
Not really.
Okay, cool. Because there's like a car revving up in the background. Just wanted to make sure you couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his thing is locking on. So, and obviously this is what I could just get from his trailer. I feel like every shot that he fires with his primary weapon gives him like a tick. And when he gets three ticks, he gets a full lock on. Then he
Yeah.
can use his one of his abilities, which is like homing rockets.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the homing records then track.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's any way to avoid them. Then he has a sonar ability where he
Mm.
can like shoot a little thing into a wall and gives him a sonar.
Yeah.
From well, pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
It gives him a partial lock. So there's a full lock and a partial lock. I'm not entirely sure the difference. We'll go more in depth when the game launches or when we get more in depth trailers.
Yeah.
He also gets like the giant like projectable wall. That's his defensive ability. It's pretty cool. Should be nice for pushing through choke points.
Yep.
And then his core is the salvo core. Unleashes a barrage of rockets that can be guided in flight. Oh, okay. They'll prioritize any locked targets Tone looks at. So yeah, if he has a lock, so yeah, his main thing really is locking onto targets. So if he has a
Yeah.
lock on a target, then his core will prioritize them. So that's cool. Then we get to the skinnier Titans. North Star.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, North Star is the first flying Titan in Titanfall. The ordnance is like a cluster missile. It just fires some
Very
rockets.
familiar cluster missile.
Oh no! Wait till we get to the core.
Yeah.
So the defensive, so the tactical is hover, which
Right.
lets her fly. The primary weapon is like a plasma railgun, and then she can like charge up and shoot. She's got like a defense like tethers, so these little like ropes that hook onto any titans that walk past, and that's like her shield. She doesn't have like a shield per se. That's her main defensive ability. And her ultimate, because that's what I'm going to call this, is pretty much rocket barrage.
Well, it's actually really interesting. In the trailer, the robot goes flying up and screams "Justice reigns from above." So
that may or may not be true.
in
But,
my
yeah,
head canon,
it looks
that's what
so
happened.
similar. Like even obviously Overwatch. I mean, like it's such a basic animation,
It is,
flying
yeah,
into
yeah.
the air and just like sending off rockets. But it was pretty funny when I saw it because it does look very similar to my girl Farah. Shout out
Yeah.
to Farah. And then the final brand new Titan that's been revealed is Ronin.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Ronin is an interesting one. Because remember how we called North Star Farah?
Yeah, Ronin's very Genji.
Ronin is Genji. It's actually funny. One of the comments on the Ronin trailer is like, "Holy shit, puberty hit Genji like a truck."
Nice. Oh, that's great.
And it's so funny. So Ronin's thing, he's got like a shotgun. Yeah, the primary weapon is a shotgun, and apparently the bullets bounce off walls. Then his ordinance is the arc wave, where he like swipes his sword across the floor and makes a little wave. His tactical is a phase dash, so he teleports pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
It has full on invulnerability because like for like a short period of the dash, he doesn't actually exist anymore, so there's straight up invulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
Then his defensive, similar to North Star, he doesn't have a shield, so
Right.
he's more of a mobility type Titan. But he uses his sword and he deflects bullets back. And then his core, he pretty much empowers his melee and sword abilities and gives access to new sword attacks. So it's pretty much
Dragon Blade.
Dragon Blade. But overall, the new Titans all look pretty cool. And there's
Yeah.
like, because obviously like I don't know this with these Titans, but like with Ion, for example, Ion has an interesting mechanic that I didn't even notice when I was playing in the technical test, and that's that all of Ion's abilities cost energy.
Yeah.
Ion has an extra bar on the HUD that I didn't even notice that it drains every time you use an ability or uses alternate fire, and a big part of Ion is managing your energy
Yeah.
and all that good stuff. So like it makes me wonder what little cool things all these
Oh.
other Titans are going to have, and it makes me really excited
Oh yeah.
to get more in depth with these Titans. Yeah.
Also, just a point to bring out. The cool thing about the remember what we were talking about last time, where the people who like Titanfall 1 were complaining about Titanfall 2's changes and whatnot.
Yeah.
A lot of the problems that they brought up in the first technical test have been noted and are actually being fixed. There are things that are being changed up for the next technical test. So I really do like that a lot. How it's like, okay, we did hear what you're saying and what you think is a problem. We're on it. We're gonna change it for the next one, for the next test.
Yeah, they changed it because the next technical test was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they changed it for that technical test. They increased the speed. They didn't change everything because they were like that. There were some things that
they're gonna stand by. Yeah.
that we're gonna stand by, like the Titans not having shields when they spawn. But they changed like the mobility. They made the pilots move a lot faster. They added a passive Titan timer, so you will always get a Titan no matter how bad you're playing.
Nice.
Which I think
That's actually a really smart change. I'm glad that they did change that.
Yeah, but then if you're playing well, you just get your Titan a
Faster.
lot quicker.
Yeah.
There are a couple of other minor things that they changed, but yeah, that's a good point. But overall, man, Titanfall 2, I'm still excited for it, still looking forward to it, and yeah, even if I didn't like Overwatch, I was probably gonna buy PlayStation Plus for Titanfall 2. So
Yeah,
screw me,
exactly.
so.
Sony, they always find our one weakness.
Yep, they always find a way. So yeah, I guess the last bit of news, Gears 4. Sorry,
Gears 3.
Gears 4. They finally announced Horde 3.0. So you can see why I called it Gears 3.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we're like
it's called Horde 3.0 because Gears 3 had Horde 2.0.
Yeah, because Gears 1 didn't have Horde. I know,
Yeah,
Tanner,
okay,
I know.
yeah.
I played all the Gears. But yeah, so it looks pretty cool. Looks like they're adding a bit of a class system. I don't know if Gears 3 had a class system.
I think actually the Gears game that nobody talks about, Gears of War Judgment, actually did have a class system.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I know. It's like this mysterious game that everyone just sort of... Wait, what was I talking about again? It just has this magical effect.
But yeah, the brand new Horde mode looks cool. I like the idea of there's buildables now, because like Gears 2 was bare bones. I think you could build like barbed wires. No, you couldn't. That's Gears 3.
No, Gears 2 was very simple, basic stuff. Gears 3 was where they kind of added a lot of really cool mechanics as far as like building barbed wire, turrets, laser grids, all that fun stuff. And I actually had a lot of fun with the Gears 2.0 because there was a lot more stuff to do. And then the cool thing is at the end of round 10, there would always be a boss that you would fight. And the boss would be randomly selected. Sometimes it would be like a really fast, nimble boss, or it would be like a really slow, giant freaking thing that could just blow you up in a couple seconds.
Huh. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I never really got into the hard mode. Me and my friends, when we played Gears, we were more. We just played the competitive.
Oh, okay,
I just loved the feeling of murdering other people. So yeah, I never really got into the hard mode because I'm like, well, it's just artificial intelligence.
It's funny because I was the complete opposite, where I never really got into the competitive multiplayer of Gears, whereas I was for Horde, I was like, oh yeah, because I think that was more like I could walk over to my friend's place, he'd have his 360, hey, you want to play a couple rounds of Horde mode in Gears, and I'd be like, yeah, sure, no problem, and we could just do that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have a 360 back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But honestly, I think it looks really, really good. I'm curious what they're going to add. I'm hoping that the other cool thing though is that this includes the robot race from Gears 4 and the Locust. So that means just more enemies to fight, which I think is always good.
Yeah. More variety is always welcome. But yeah, overall looks pretty cool.
Good stuff.
Looking forward to seeing more. I mean, I'm not going to buy it,
but cool on its own. So let's finish up with our question of the day.
Oh yeah,
very good question.
So long to answer this question.
If memories worked like video games, game saves, which beloved game would you delete from your memory just to replay it 100% fresh? I was curious you say that because honestly, in this case, I kind of want to be able to get my save files back. But I'm gonna let you go first.
Hotline Miami. Oh my god,
hey.
It's so funny. Like a couple days prior to him asking this question, I was watching some Overwatch streamer, and he was listening to the Hotline Miami soundtrack while he was streaming. Right. And then it got me just reminiscing, listening to the soundtrack, and I was like, oh my god, if I hadn't platinumed that game, I'd still be playing it to this day. Like, the reason why I don't play it is because there's literally nothing left for me to do.
You've done all the levels and whatnot.
I've beaten every stage. I've gotten an A+ on every stage. There's no like arbitrary challenge I can add to the game. I beat it. I mean, there's no difficulty levels. The only thing I could look into, it'd be like leaderboard type shit. But I mean, like, honestly, even when I still had my Vita, I still just randomly played it every now and then. I'd be on the bus and I just bust it out and just play a couple stages. I loved that game, and if I could play it from scratch again, still retaining my knowledge of how to play it, because I won't lie, the first couple attempts at playing the game were not fun. Like, straight up, they were not fun. So yeah, if I could retain my ability to still remember how to play the game, but just forget everything else about it, oh my god, Hotline Miami in a heartbeat.
Nice.
In a heartbeat. I'm really curious to hear what yours is.
It's hard. It's really hard because there's too many games that I've had an amazing experience, but like honestly, like I think I'd go with my number one is that I really want to feel the stuff that I felt playing Shadow of the Colossus for the first time. Because I just there's so many just amazing moments I had playing that game. Like the freaking running up the sword of the Colossus in the third one, or freaking the bird one, like jumping onto the wings, and the dragon one, which was amazing because you're shooting its pockets underneath its belly, because it's so high in the air and you're in this enormous desert, and the way it comes tumbling down, like this behemoth comes tumbling down out of the sky. At the very end, after you
spoiler alert,
huge spoilers, but that's what I mean, is that I could go on about all those moments in that game that I think are fantastic and awesome. I would love to play that without having no recollection of it. Absolutely. There's a couple other ones I could say, like I would love to play Zelda Twilight Princess from scratch, with no memory. That would also be another good one. But I think Shadow would be mine.
Okay.
A great question from J Streets. If you got a game that you would love to, play 100% fresh, leave it in the comment section. Curious to see what some other answers are. But don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. And if you leave it in the comment section, we'll make sure to answer it in the next podcast. And as always, I'm your host, William Liberty, and...
Well, Yusuf.
And we'll see you guys next time.